short clip, I'm going to explain the lesson plan adjustment rationale assignment. Consult this video whenever you want and as often as you want. If after watching the video you still have questions about the assignment, ask them during any class. In the course outline, I describe the assignment like this. Students, having continued to develop their knowledge of strategies and tactics for including students with different language abilities in content area classes, will submit a 4 to 6 page rationale for the changes they have made for their lessons. The rationale is an argument for their lesson that makes note of the changes made, discusses the strengths and weaknesses of the lesson for a linguistically diverse classroom, and makes specific and attributed references to course concepts, course readings, and course terms that are relevant to the adjustments. A revised version of their adjusted lesson plan that takes into account feedback should be submitted as an appendix. Now I'm going to break that down to make it a little clearer. The lesson plan adjustment rationale, I'm just going to call it the rationale from now on. The rationale makes an argument for the adjusted lesson plan. I'll explain what an argument should be like in a minute. The rationale is worth 40% of your grade. At 40%, it's the major assignment for this course, so make sure you work on it throughout the course. It shouldn't be something you leave until the end. It builds on your earlier lesson plan adjustments assignments. This assignment is kind of a culminating task. The rationale is a culminating task that connects to other assignments, especially the lesson plan adjustments assignment, but it could also connect with your strategy guides as well. You should include the lesson plan adjustment assignment, the lesson plan, as an appendix. It should be about 4 to 6 pages in length, or around 1,000 to 1,500 words, not including a title page and references. These pages are double-spaced, of course. And it's the most significant assignment of the course. I'm repeating myself here, but it's important. This is the big one, so spend the most time on it. Your argument should explain the adjustments you made. You made some adjustments to a lesson plan as part of an earlier assignment. If you haven't completed that assignment, make sure you understand it first. Your job here is to talk about those adjustments. You should be explaining them, justifying them, comparing them, contrasting them, enumerating them, critiquing them, undermining them, supporting them, whatever. You should be talking about them as part of this assignment. You could be using this assignment to tell me why you are a genius teacher and have made the most wonderful adjustments imaginable, or you could be using it to tell me how, despite all your hard work, the lesson plan is still not as appropriate as it should be for a linguistically diverse classroom. Your argument should discuss the strengths and weaknesses of the lesson plan for a linguistically diverse classroom. Talk about the original lesson, explain where it was lacking and why you had to make the adjustments you made. And your argument should make specific and attributed references to course concepts, course readings, and course terms that are relevant to the adjustments. This part's important. You must talk about the course material if you want a decent mark on this assignment. You can't just talk about the adjustments you made and how great they are without referencing some of the course readings. And since you've been doing the course readings all the way along, that shouldn't be a problem. You should, as part of this assignment, include a list of references, avoid plagiarism, be specific, define your terms, provide citations for technical terms that you learned during this course. If you're using a term that you didn't come up with on your own, that you didn't know before this course began, and that you learned from a reading, you should probably cite that reading. And include a revised version of your adjusted lesson plan as an appendix. If you haven't made any revisions, include the unrevised version. Now, I'll explain how I'll be assessing this, and I'm going to refer to the competencies. Everything I've just said still applies, and some of that will determine how I assess, of course, but these are some of the competencies and key features that I might also be looking at while I assess it. Competency 1. As with your previous assignments, your adjustments should respect the academic content of the lesson plan, whatever that may have been. The ESL learner should not be receiving a watered-down version of the curriculum. but one in which the teacher uses various forms of scaffolding to make the curriculum accessible. Competency 2. In this assignment, you are making an argument for the appropriateness of the adjustments made. This involves taking up a position and arguing in a consistent, effective, and constructive and respectful way. The position may be, for example, that the lesson plan was inappropriate for a class with diverse linguistic abilities and has been made more appropriate through your adjustments. Alternatively, the position might be that the lesson plan was very appropriate for several reasons and that only a few adjustments were needed. In either case, the argument should be supported with details, examples, and specific references to the lesson plan and course readings. So you should be communicating this clearly. Competency 5. In your lesson plan, you are asked to include opportunities for you to assess your students' language abilities, such as through checking that students understand specific terms or by including formative assessments that check students have the language skills necessary to understand course material and produce work that demonstrates that understanding. Your rationale could discuss where these opportunities exist in the lesson plan. Competency 11. The lesson plan rationale is an opportunity for you to discuss the relevance of your pedagogical choices, albeit not with your colleagues, but with your instructor. Finally, Competency 12. Being inclusive in your lesson planning is an ethical responsibility. Showing that you have clearly identified the weaknesses of a lesson plan and can make adjustments that make the lesson more appropriate for a diverse classroom is a demonstration of your ability to behave ethically and responsibly as a professional teacher. Okay, I hope that made it a little clearer. If not, feel free to ask questions during any class about this assignment. And you could also, if you have questions about your specific ideas and you want to meet individually, I have office hours for that. The office hours are in the course outline. Have fun. Take care.